Hi guys, welcome to Garden on a Hill where we talk about easy home gardening. My name is Vin and in this channel I talk about things that made my life easy in the garden. It is May 17 today, almost about a month before the first week of, no, June 21, which is the first day of summer. And I just wanted to show you what has been happening in this garden, specifically here in my backyard garden. I do have two gardens, this backyard garden and my front yard garden. But for today, we'll do the tour of the backyard garden, which is quite big now. Zoom out. As you can see, there is plenty of things growing now. You have been curious what's happening in my backyard garden because I haven't been showing it. But there's been a lot of progress in the past month, so let's look at it. If you are new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so anytime I upload something new, you get notified. Hit that bell button too, and all the like buttons, all the buttons that you want to hit. That would be perfect as long as you support this page. So come on, let's go ahead and look at this. Just a quick orientation for those who are new. My house is on a slope, thus my garden slopes down the hill. And I try to optimize as much sun as I can because my property south facing where the sun comes up and down, as you can see, is filled with these giant trees. So at the very top of the hill, these beds are at the very front. I usually save them for sun-loving plants like eggplants and other items. You can see here at the back I start to trellis because the shadows I really don't grow something behind them. But as you go down, there's more trellises on this section. So there's more vining plants here, but there are some exceptions that I'm experimenting on like these zucchinis. But anyway, that's just a quick orientation so you know how this garden is planned. I'm already gonna apologize for all the noise because it is trash collection day here in the city and it is quite loud, so I may have to voice over some of these things later. But I was thinking it may be easier since there's so many beds to go row by row as you go down the hill. So let's go here at the very top. This is where my raised mound is. As you can see, this is just a raised mound with a landscape fabric above it, and I do keep the roll at the very end and then I roll it back again come fall when I try to clean up in there. And you will see a large array of Asian vegetables that we grow. If you haven't gotten it, my family's heritage is Asian. We are Filipino and we tend to grow several American, every vegetable we can, but we also have a lot of Asian varieties in our garden because of my mom's cooking and my parents' cooking. So here at the very top, starting here at the raised mound, I saved this for the crawling vining plants. So the reason why is I want them to just crawl out of the garden and not make a mess inside. As you can see, I am a very neat gardener. I may have OCD on that. But here we are. This is the gochujang squash, I believe, if I pronounce it right. I got that from a Korean store, actually, and I don't know what kind of squash it is, but it looked pretty in the picture, so I was going to grow it, and it's a very healthy. I believe this started March 25, and it's already taken over. The flowers are already there, and they are quite big. As you can see, I also have a mole trap there. A mole keeps digging around, so very effective mole trap if you need one. But anyway, see, it's flowering. Same thing with another Asian variety. This is more of a Japanese squash. It's actually called table acorn, which I think is a more Americanized version of it. But it's basically a Japanese squash. Small winter squashes, heart-shaped like this. And they've been very prolific here. They like a lot of sun. So let's go into the next row, which I have saved these as blank spaces for some other plantings that I want to do. Next row down, we have Japanese shishito peppers. We love shishito peppers. If you have not had shishito peppers before, make sure you get them and make sure you plant them because they are so easy. And what I do every year, as you can see, I've started this from seed 311. That's been a while back, but once I have 9 here on this 4x4 bed, and once I have them grow about a foot, I cut the top. So what happens is all of the other leaves come out and sprout once you cut the top off. It makes a bushier pepper plant, and they're here. There's a lot of shade in this area, so this probably gets about 4 hours of sun and dappled sunlight, and they love that. So if you have a little shady section, this may work for you, but it still needs some sun to produce those peppers. I have those. This whole bed is shishito peppers. The other bed, which we're going to on the next one, actually let's just go there now. These are also peppers, but they aren't shishito peppers. They are peppers from, these are from Asian Garden to Table, another YouTuber, and I forgot what their names were. This is mild spicy Big Mike pepper, and then this is Spicy King pepper. So what I did was I actually saved the sweet peppers in this area. I'm gonna add one more banana pepper in here, and then also sweet peppers here, because shishitos are not really that hot. There are things that are hot when you get the wrong fruit. It's supposed to be mild, and these are supposed to be mild. We don't eat a lot of spicy peppers, but I'll add in more spicy peppers on this bed. All right, anyway, so since I've already tackled one row down, let's tackle these 2 rows right here behind me. These are my shiku Japanese eggplants. As you can see, this bed has shiku. There's also a stray green bean here and green bean on the other end, just bush beans. And I'm gonna plant some pollinators in the middle. But look at these, they are already fruiting, and they are big, healthy, beautiful purple stems. I did not grow this from seed. This is probably the bed that I didn't grow from seed this year, but definitely will grow this next year from seed. I did Nagasaki last time and it was great, and shiku was also good, but I think I'm gonna stick with shiku because Nagasaki had a little problem on flea beetles. Okay, here we are. This bed is also eggplants. I also have beans in here, 2 other beans, bush bean varieties, and a basil. I try to put in basil where I can, and where there's more shade. There's a tree limb that casts shadows here a little, so I put a basil in there. Basil likes sun, but basil likes shade more because the leaves tend to be softer. Now these are another row of Japanese eggplants. So Japanese eggplants here, Japanese eggplants here, 3 varieties. We have, I think these are 3 Ichibans. I grew this from seed, and then I grew all of this from seed. It's a green night eggplant, long green eggplant. The other varieties are long purple eggplants, and then this is a round purple eggplant. Also got it from Asian Garden to Table. So please do get it from her. I support her page, and I've started this, Kitchen King is the bean, purple round is the eggplant. That is this bed. To my left, moving on. Again, this is the sunniest part of my garden, is this, because this is where my eggplants are. To the left would be... So my video got cut off before I was about to talk to these 2 beds that have bitter melons, and you now have sun. As you can see, it's like almost lunchtime now. But these are the bitter melon beds. Let's continue. And there on these 2 beds, 2 varieties for bitter melon around the corners going up. If you are Asian, you know bitter melon is an acquired taste. It's a very bitter, wrinkled melon, and I have them here going up the trellis and hoping that they will come up soon. There's 2 varieties here from Asian Garden Table. I think this one is right here is long bitter melon, which is a long white bitter melon, and this is a big white bitter melon, so which is a thicker fruit in a radius, and I'm hoping they're gonna come up soon. Both of them have a celebrity tomato in the middle in this cage, and then hoping that goes up and it's a determinate tomato that will just fruit there, and then there's 4 beans around each. But those are my 2 bitter melons. So I grow 3 varieties of tomatoes in this backyard. There are the determinate kinds. Those are the 2 kinds. I think it's determinate and indeterminate. And all my determinate tomatoes, I put a cage into it so I know I don't have to prune it. So these are Romas. I also grew these from seed. They're all 4 of them here, cage, are growing very well, starting to flower and fruit. And then under it, I have bush beans. I try to put bush beans anywhere as much as I can, not even for the actual bean itself, but its ability to take nitrogen from the air to the ground, and I just put them as fillers everywhere in my garden if I have extra bean seeds. So this is kind of my tomato bed in here. As you can see, those are my Romas. These are celebrity tomatoes. Again, another determinate variety. Determinate is just a fancy word for it's a bushing type. So it means what happens here is you don't want to touch it. It's just going to bush, and you're going to have the fruit and the flowers. You don't have to touch it. That is the determinate tomato. So I keep them on a cage. This probably is not the best cage, but it's what's available for me. It's not the sturdiest. You know, it's a little flimsy. But the other kind are your indeterminate tomatoes. So these are my beefsteak tomatoes, which are indeterminates. These need some sort of trellising or pole or post so you can guide it up. It means it's a vining plant, vining tomato. What happens is as the vine grows, the fruit grows. For the other tomato, as soon as all the flowers and fruit are out, it's gone. So the vining tomato varieties, you have to check if it's a determinate or indeterminate. You have to guide them through up the pole like this, and then you have to prune the suckers out, which I don't have any, but it's the ones that grow here, and then you keep pruning that until it goes up and up the trellis. So that is that section. That's my tomato section area right there. So you can see there's a lot. All right, to the right of it, as we go down, this is my cucumber portal. I have two varieties of cucumber here. This one is another variety I got from the Korean store. It's called Shin Asia. It's an F1 hybrid variety. It's a pink cucumber. So we'll see how that goes. But it's already producing so many flowers. And the other one to the right is a more common American variety, which is a Marketmore 76. Please plant this. This is such an easy cucumber. You can see I already have little baby cucumbers here at the bottom, and it's fruiting and flowering profusely. It doesn't stop. So I think height-wise, the Shin Asia has gotten higher up the trellis, and the Marketmore still lower down the trellis, but the Marketmore has more fruits right now. Anyway, behind the Marketmore, the Shin Asia cucumbers, I have planted okra right here. Three different kinds of okra. I think I have Alabama red, Okinawa pink, and then burgundy okra. And then with some garden beans here too. They're just starting to sprout. This is how okra sprouts, just so you know. And what I do once they sprout is I just thin them. I just remove the ones that I don't need to keep the right spacing between. And that's what I do. But you know, they'll sooner or later pop up. You want to plant them as sunny as you can. All right. So to my left, I just have a tomato here. I'm trying to see if I can grow tomato in the shade. These are celebrity tomatoes. 1, 2, 3 down there, and it looks like they're liking it right now. But you know, it's an experiment. I still don't have a lot of plants here. I think I have a purple basil here, and then as you go down, there's taro. Taro is like an elephant ear in American vegetables. It's a root crop, and then it grows, and you can eat the actual taro. Let me see if there's something popping up actually. So here, see, there's a taro bulb. Oh, here, perfect. This is a taro bulb, and it's actually starting to sprout. As you can see, that's the taro, or like it's like an elephant ear bulb. And we eat the leaves and root crop, the actual bulb under, for Asian cuisine. You may want to Google that. It's quite a good Asian vegetable. It tastes like a milk potato in the milk, if that makes sense. Anyway, let's move here, go in this way. As you can see, I have 2 vines going up there, and then another going up here. It's getting really tall. So I'm planning for these 2 vines to go up that cable string Those are my perennial chayote squash. If you have not planted this, I feel sorry for you, because these things grow every year, grow back where you planted them, and then they bear so much squash. I kid you not, this whole garden last year was filled with chayote. I'm gonna have to take a video this year, but the entire garden, the vine took over. In the fall, it starts to fruit, and all you can see is chayote. It's like little squashes about this size, and they were everywhere, about 200 of them. So make sure, if you are interested in that, it tastes like zucchini mixed with potatoes. It's a blank vegetable, and then it just soaks in the flavor. It's very, very soft. Anyway, we can move on to these zucchinis. Look at these zucchinis. So excited about them, because I'm not sure if you've seen my past videos. This is a very shady area of my garden, and I'm trying to see what I can grow, what I can push my boundaries on. And these are two types of zucchinis. Golden zucchini, and then your common black beauty zucchini. That has dark green fruits, and they are doing great. I did not expect them at all to be making any here. And I'll point out things that I learned from this experiment. So, I grew golden zucchini last year in full sun, and I did not have powdery mildew problems, because I put it right there at the very top where the vining winter squashes are. They did not have powdery mildew. But when you grow them in the shade, well, I don't want to say shade, partial sun, probably 3 hours of sun, they will give you fruit and flowers, which they have now. At this point, they do have fruits and flowers. I think there's one right here. See, it's a lot here, like 3. And this is in probably 3 to 4 hours of sun. But the leaves have so much powdery mildew, and I've been trying to control this powdery mildew, but it is hard to control it. I've been spraying it almost daily, but it still keeps coming up. So I would say it will grow in the shade, golden zucchini, but you have to be careful and keep spraying it because of powdery mildew. Now, black beauty zucchini, on the other hand, has no problem. It acts like it's the same, if not healthier, in partial shade. So you can see no powdery mildew, leaves are extremely healthy, and then there's actually so much flower and fruit here now. Do you see that? It's amazing. So if you want to experiment on zucchinis, partial shade, go with Black Beauty. It's a no-fail. More celebrity tomatoes here. Again, one there. I basically have so many celebrity tomatoes around just to see which spots they can grow in. Again, my garden is not full sun all the time, so I have to explore as much as I can. Now, here on this bed, we have Chinese okra or angled loofah. So it's crawling up now with the string all the way to the top here, following that cable wire, I should say, and then it goes down here, and I have another loofah growing in here. So this loofah gets some sun, about 3 to 4 hours, and the other one probably just gets 2 hours, but this one has been decimated. And I've been putting diatomaceous earth on it, treating it, and it's starting to recover, but it makes me even think that loofah or Chinese okra likes the shade more than the sun, because the reason why I put them here in the first place, because I want them to, of course, both grow up there and meet in the middle. But the reason why I grow them here is because when I had them fruit last time, they were all fruiting in the shade portion of the garden. So their flowers kind of open late in the day, and then I don't know, maybe the insects like it better in the shade at the end of the day because it's way too hot. They're getting irritated by the sun. But anyway, I'm hoping, it looks like, they're gonna be fine, but I think the one in the shade is doing much better. As you can see, this is Already the sun is already up. If you have a full sun garden, you should already have sun now. Mine doesn't get it until probably around 11 or 12. So the last portion of this side is the beans that I planted. Beans that I planted. They are right here, and I'm hoping these would just go up the trellis. I have 2 beds with them, and that is pretty much, I think these are called, I hate the name of them, Cherokee Trail of Tears, because that is actually a sad name for beans, but I've googled, they are good varieties to grow here, and they are growing very well. But that is it. I'm hoping these would go up here on my strings, and then when they grow up, it would be better. As you can see, all my trees are there trying to block my sun. But anyway, and then as soon as they grow, you see all of them like this hanging on this string. If they encroach on the actual path, what I can do is I can actually push the string back. So I like the string trellis system. So that ends the tour of this backyard garden. Next time we'll go to my front yard vegetable garden, which is right here. Sorry, it's kind of a mess here right now because I've been moving my tools and things around. But as you can see, the front yard vegetable garden is starting to become more robust. Potatoes, watermelon towers coming, a lot of exciting things happening. So if you have some time, we will definitely look at these front yard vegetable garden things in the next episode. See you then.